So, hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Kicking It with K9 podcast for July 1st, 2019. I'm K9. Excuse me. My allergies are kind of, you guys know, my allergies are shit. But I'm recording this one a couple days early because it's the 4th of July, Thursday, and I'm having family over and whole barbecue, the whole 9 yards, so I'm recording this a couple days early while I have time to do it because I'm going to be pretty much busy the rest of the week. And let's just jump right into it, shall we? All right. I was looking on Facebook the other day, and I seen this post that caught my attention, so I asked the gentleman if I can share it on my podcast. He said, go ahead, because he wants some advice on this and wants to know more or less what he's dealing with. So, if anybody has had any experience with this or anybody can offer some help, that would be greatly appreciated. Leave me a comment, send me an email at kickingitwithk9@gmail.com, and let me know if you guys can help out with this, alright? And I'll just jump right into the story here. Alright, the gentleman says, please bear with me, this is hard to explain. 6 months ago, I was lying on my bed after doing some work on the house. When I closed my eyes after a short while... Sorry, my fault, I messed up. Okay. When I closed my eyes, after a short while, I could see what looked to be Jesus. But it was like I could see him on the back of my eyelids, not in my mind or imagination. When I opened them, he was still there, like he was in my vision somehow. I passed it off as tiredness and went on about my day. A couple months later, I'm going to bed and the same thing happens, only it's not Jesus. It's like a skull or something dark, something evil. I open my eyes and rub them, but still see it for some time. In 6 months, this has only happened 3 times, last time being a few weeks ago. We could pass it off as tiredness or anything, but it's strikingly worrying when I see it. It makes me anxious. Please keep in mind I am not seeing this with my imagination or thoughts. I'm literally seeing it on the back of my eyelids. Then when I open them, it's still there. Then fades. It's like a filter on my eyes. Anyone ever experienced this? Then he says, I'm not religious. I don't have a religion. I just think we're all alive and lucky to be. So that was it. And that's where he left off at. But I did a little bit of research on it, and the best I could come up with was something called closed eye scrying. And for some people, it takes them to meditate a little bit before they can get to this, from what I read. And some people are just naturals at doing it. But again, I'm not sure if that's what's going on with this gentleman. So if anybody can help with this, like I said, leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys have experienced anything like this. This guy is really looking for some help to kind of figure out what's going on, and maybe possibly if there's any way he could control it. So, anybody with any advice for this gentleman, please send me an email, leave me a comment. Depending on where you're listening, if you're listening on YouTube, leave me a comment, let me know if you have any advice for this gentleman. And if you're listening anywhere else, Apple, Google, Spotify, whatever, send me an email if you've experienced anything like this, or if you know anyone who has that could possibly offer up some advice. Alright? And what else do I have here for you guys? Excuse me again. Let's see, let me get into these pictures, because that was that guy's story, and somebody else commented on there that said it's been happening to them as well. But I think they're looking for a little help with this too. This lady says, I've literally done what you just described. Mine was seeing a silver F-150 Ford truck running headfirst into me. Second was a little boy with dark eyes for holes and had a red and black flannel on, staring directly in my face. I, like you, during the daytime, just closed my eyes for a minute and these things appeared out of, it seemed, the back of my eyelids. It scared the shit out of me and happened on different days of each other. So, it's happening to more than one person, but I think this guy's looking for some help and how to control it, or maybe if there's a certain name for it, to at least know what he's dealing with, Alright, now, for those of you guys just listening, I had a story the other day about a shadow, like a dark cloud with facial features hovering over somebody, and I'll go ahead and read that again for you guys. Somebody did have an answer for it. Not an answer, but it's happened to them as well, and I'll read their story too. Let's see. Let me find it here. The original one that was sent to me. Okay, here we go. It says, hey K9, I wanted to share a short story about something that happened to me when I first moved into my own place. Now, I was in my 20s and just moved into an apartment in Alabama. This place was a nice one bedroom, just perfect for me, and didn't feel weird or uncomfortable at all. So about a month into living there, my girlfriend decided she wanted to spend the night one night, and while watching a movie, I fell asleep on the couch. My girlfriend said she tried to wake me up when the movie ended, but I wouldn't budge. So she went to bed and left me on the couch. We hadn't been drinking or doing any other drugs, before you ask. Now, I'm not sure if I was dreaming at first or if I was starting to wake up, but about 2:45 in the morning I could feel somebody watching me. And like I said, not sure if I was dreaming at first, but I looked over at the door, still half asleep, and seen a shadow walk through. I walked through the door and across the living room and sit on the coffee table next to me, hunched over and staring at me. Now at this point I was definitely awake. I got freaked out and kept my eyes closed tight as I didn't want to see whatever was staring at me. After a couple minutes that felt like an eternity, I thought, fuck it. I'll open my eyes, jump up, and run to my room. But when I opened my eyes, there was a dark fog, almost like a cloud, with facial features hovering over me, staring at me, and it was close. So close, I probably could have puckered up and kissed it. I laid there frozen, unable to make a sound, but somehow I managed to let out a scream. Not sure what happened, if I scared the cloud or what, but it floated towards the door. I didn't see where it went because I jumped off the couch and started running to my room. My girlfriend met me in the hallway asking me what happened. I grabbed her and shoved her back in the room and slammed the door and turned the light on. Now she was freaking out, wondering what was going on in the living room. But I couldn't answer her as I was still trying to make sense of everything. Finally, I calmed down enough to tell her what was going on, and she just sat there looking at me like, see? I told you there was something wrong with this place. So anyway, I ended up getting out of my lease and moving. Me and my girlfriend are still together and live together now. And 6 years later, I still tell my girlfriend every night, if I fall asleep on the couch, don't you dare leave me here. Wake me up so I can go to bed. And just got to say I'm loving the podcast and hope this story makes it on. I'd like to know if anyone else has experienced this. Thanks again. Alright, and just like with the first one, if anybody else has had anything like that happen to them, I would love to hear about it. Okay? And this is this is a response I got into that last... Jesus, excuse me. This is a response that I got to that last story. Okay? So let's jump into this one here. See what we got. Response to ghost on couch. Okay. And the first story was on episode 7 of the podcast. If you guys want to go back and listen to that, I'll post a link in the description to the video. And for those of you guys not listening on YouTube, it's podcast episode 7. What date was it? I don't remember what day it was recorded on. All right, let's get into this one. Response to ghost on couch. I have experienced something similar. When I moved into a house my sister-in-law lived in before I decided to take over the lease, she was into Egyptian voodoo and beliefs. Not sure what to call it. She had a mouth like a sailor and just into a lot of illegal things with her husband, which brought trouble. Hence the reason they had to turn the house over to my husband and I with my 4 boys. My youngest was nearly 3 at the time. He slept with us one night. We had a neighboring light that lit half our room. My son woke up scared and pointed and said, "Look at the man in the corner." I couldn't see it, but he kept saying he was there. So I prayed with my son, and it was gone. That following day, I had told my boys to clean their rooms, and so they cleaned one and moved to the next room, and on and on. Then I walked by a toy in the hallway upstairs and asked them to pick it up. They did, and tossed it into the room, and it was tossed back out. Hang on. Then I walked by a toy in the hallway upstairs and asked them to pick it up. They did and tossed it into the room, and it was tossed back out with them standing outside the room door. They didn't want to sleep in that room, so they slept together in the other room. Then the next night I slept in the bed with my husband. When he woke up to me gripping the sheets and fist denting the bed, I could barely speak, but I grunted, "It's right over me." I could see a dark black mist through the lighting right over me, and I was scared. He couldn't see it. My husband prayed and it disappeared. Then my husband couldn't sleep, so he went downstairs to read the Bible. At some point my husband asked if I was calling him. I said no, I wasn't. Then it called him again by name. He began to pray again and asked it to leave with scripture. It stopped, but we smudged and prayed. We decided to move. What it was unsure, and it sounds so unreal to the unbeliever, but if you experience it, it's as real as it gets. All right, well, there's a response for you, guy in Alabama. That is pretty trippy. I need to do some more research on that. Let me write that down. So I remember to look up these cloud ghosts. I've heard a lot of people talk about them, but it's usually people that were into some kind of like some type of witchcraft, like dark witchcraft. I know I've heard some people bring it up before, and it scared the shit out of them enough to where they gave up the practice. So I'm assuming maybe inexperienced people that don't have no business practicing such. But again, if you guys have any stories like this that, you would like to share, please share them with me, and I'll get them read on here, even if there's any response to anybody else's stories. And what else we got here? All right. I'm going to need you guys to get onto the YouTube there. All right. And do a search for Paranormal in Malta. Paranormal in Malta. Malta. Episode 8, they just investigated a haunted bunker. It's an awesome channel. Matter of fact, I talked to the guy who runs the channel. His name's John. He's an awesome dude. I've talked to him a couple times in text. Matter of fact, I just talked to him a little bit ago today. And I'll put a link to their YouTube channel in my description. For those of you guys listening on another platform and not on YouTube again, go to YouTube and look up Paranormal in Malta. on YouTube. Leave them a like, comment, subscribe to their channel, share their content. And if you're into the paranormal, you won't be disappointed with these guys. You know, they got some excellent content, great videos. Like I said, John's an awesome guy. I've talked to him a couple times, and you know, looking forward to keeping the conversations going, and looking forward to some more content there, John. Keep it coming. Again, that's Paranormal in Malta. Check them out. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, like I said, you won't be disappointed. They got some good stuff on there. Very interesting. And it's nice to see another part of the world, you know. And some of the places these guys go is just amazing, you know. I like a lot of the places they do their investigations at. It's awesome. So check it out. Again, Paranormal in Malta. Episode 8 was just put up yesterday, I believe. It's called The Haunted Bunker. So go on and give that a look. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, let him know what you guys think. Go ahead and comment on his videos there, but definitely check them out. It's worth a look at there for anybody into paranormal investigations, ghost hunting, you know, stuff like that. Check it out. They got some awesome videos. And with that, I guess that's about all I got for this week. So, you guys have a great rest of the week. Happy 4th of July to everybody that's going to be celebrating it. And if I can, I'll try to do another one of these this weekend. If not, I'll talk to you guys again on next Thursday. Not this coming Thursday, the next Thursday. So you guys have a great rest of the week. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe for the 4th of July. And God bless. I'll talk to you.